Hello everybody, it's Dave Neal, stand-up comic, host of Bachelor Nation News. In this video, we have Tyler Cameron on Jason Tartick's podcast, Trading Secrets, calling out Tyler for the way he has handled his breakup from ex-fiancée Kaitlyn Bristowe. Tyler says he would give 100% custody of their dogs to her because he prefers the clean break, and of course, that's just not possible in the Bachelor world. Of course, Tyler, it's easy to break up with somebody when they're a model and you'll never see them again versus Jason living in such a shared experience with Kaitlyn. We're going to discuss all of that right now. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals, patreon.com/Dave Neal for behind the scenes bonus content. If you want to donate to my GoFundMe, there'll be a link below for that, or you can go to my Instagram for that. And also every afternoon, Bachelor Rush Hour, the hit podcast. Yes, that's right. We're getting close to the $10,000 retainer we need for the legal funds, which are going into a court case, which is about free speech. Really, that's what it comes down to. So anyway, if you want to push that donation over the $10,000 mark, you can go donate now. Thanks in advance for everyone who's been so generous. And regarding the first video I made today, Maddie untags herself at Trump event. This already has angered so many people, which I'm not surprised. But the main response I want to give is those that say, Dave, you're being biased with your opinions on the matter. Yes, my opinions are that she is a little bit, what's the term I'm looking for? Hypocritical, because she goes to events that support what I believe to be candidates that do not support the cause that a lot of Christians should have, which is, feeding the poor and like bringing us all together and things like that. And I believe that Trump, is a grifter who doesn't believe anything he says. And that's what I believe. And those are my opinions, but that's totally fine. You can believe something different, but to think that I'm going to just, not talk about what I believe is absolutely ridiculous, right? And that's why I call out people who don't exactly practice what they preach. You know what I mean? Does this make sense? Okay, good. And if that's triggering to someone and they have to unfollow me, I don't really think you really liked what I did in the first place. So either rock with me or don't. You don't have to believe all the opinions that I have, but I am here to share them. I think that's what you guys like about me. All right, let's get into it. Let's rock with Tyler Cameron on Trading Secret Podcast and hear what he has to say regarding Kaitlyn Bristowe and how Jason Tartick has handled the breakup.
I think that's a good segue to.
But you're breaking all my rules about exes.
What are your rules?
Like, if you're an ex, you're gone. You disappeared off the earth for me.
That's your relationship.
Yeah, like
really.
I don't, I don't text you. I don't call you. I don't look at your. Your Instagram is muted, gone.
Yeah.
Blocked, whatever it is, out of sight, out of mind. Right.
Okay.
And it's hard too because you're two public figures.
Yeah.
But I mean, y'all were just at Chris Harrison's wedding together.
Yeah.
First thing you do, you got, you post a reel, you're in her. I'm like, oh, Jesus, what's going on here?
Yeah, so Jason posted in his reel that Kaitlyn Bristowe was there. He knew, it's like, look, weaponize your breakup a little bit. Like, Jason knew that they'd get some extra views and people would talk about them and it'd probably spike their podcast downloads. It's like not exactly a horrible thing, but I think what Tyler is explaining is the term no contact. That's the hard break. That's the don't try to be friends with your ex and all of that jazz.
How was that?
All right. Well, so you're real quick. Let's go. I'm going to answer the question. Look at this. Now I'm in the hot seat. This is probably payback for the Gigi Hadid clip I got from you last time.
Yep.
But what are your rules? Go to your rules. Like because now you got me intrigued. What are your rules with exes? Do you just have one rule? You don't. You just shout them out.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Okay.
I try to stay away from. Ever. When we're done, we're done. Maybe it's not done. I don't know. I don't know where you guys are completely in that. But like for me, when I know it's done, like it's out of sight, out of mind, muted, blocked, whatever it takes. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to see you. I don't want to be around you. I don't want to talk to you.
So that you can heal properly.
So I can heal. So I can get away from it. You know?
Yeah.
Maybe you handle things different. I don't know.
That's how I've always handled it in the past. Right. Always. And I've always never been a guy that dips his feet back in the water.
I guess what the hard part is that while there was no explicit contract between Jason Tartick and Kaitlyn Bristowe, business-wise, they both benefited from their businesses being attached to Bachelor World, and by the fact that they were engaged, they both got something out of that. I'm not saying that was a bad thing. So now that their relationship's over, it's like, how do they not mess with the thing that puts food on their table? And that would involve Tyler, that would involve Jason giving updates about how he's feeling. I mean, adding some personal touch to his podcast is huge when it comes to retention and building a quote unquote family around his followers. And same thing for her. They connect to their audience. And when you go through this breakup, part of that connecting is to discuss it a little bit. So it might be nice to take the high road and never talk about things whatsoever, but that doesn't necessarily work for the fact that they're untangling their business and personal life from each other.
When it's closed, it's done. I'm kind of like that with business and
stick back in the oil. Right?
I don't do that. I love the Florida boy lingo. I think even after you said, I'll stand 10 toes for Jason. Mm-hmm. I never heard that. Is that a Florida line?
10 toes down, baby.
10 toes down. I'll tell you, maybe it's your Cameron, the Cameron lines, because your dad could write a book on these lines. But like, I've always been a guy that doesn't, door shut, move forward. This is a lot different. 5 years, 2 years engaged, and the dogs. So I don't know. I will tell you this. Before we went into that weekend, I had not seen her once. And last time I saw her was when I moved out. And I would say that I would describe it that there was a lot of energy that we were both holding. And it wasn't maybe the best energy. Mm-hmm. And then when we saw each other, didn't know what to expect, but it was great. It was friendly. It was cordial. It was respectful.
Was it hard? Like, you're on the dance floor trying to enjoy the wedding, and then you look over, you see her on the dance floor trying to enjoy. Like, what's that feel like?
It was like, there were times, because I didn't dance with her, but there were times I would dance and she was at the table, like Shout came on, I started dancing. And at that point I felt like such a friendly, healthy place from our conversation that I looked at her and pointed at her like, Shout, this is my song, but and I was like, you got to get out here. So the time spent, and it's weird how a wedding could do this, created just what feels like a much healthier, strictly friendly experience. Mm-hmm. And we'll see where it goes from there. I don't know.
All right, then this is my last question.
Jeez, what is this? Trey, am I in the hot seat? You the host now?
You are.
We have a podcast.
By the way, I mean, kudos to Tyler Cameron for being able to talk to him this way and ask him these questions. This is what good friends do. It makes for far better, trust me, I believe this is far better podcasting than if he was just like, so how much did your last brand deal make? Like, this is the meat and potatoes of life. I mean, come on, can you imagine having to see your recent ex at a wedding like that with all of your mutual friends who picks sides, and without any sort of convincing whatsoever, Tyler Cameron was taking Jason's side, and Jason's like, no one has to take sides, and Tyler Cameron's like, too bad, I'm on your side.
Together?
Yes. Because this dumbfounds me.
Okay, let's hear it.
The dog situation.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
and maybe dog lover. I'm a dog lover myself, but maybe dog people may get mad at me.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you got to get those dogs to Kaitlyn. You got to give her 100% custody. And
why do you think that?
Because what happens, Jason, when you dating another girl one day and you got to always go back and go grab the dogs, or always, you know what I mean? Like, it's just always.
If your new girlfriend can't understand that you're in a dog custody relationship with your ex, then they're going to have other issues. They should be happy that you found a way to communicate positively with an ex. I think a lot of times you can judge someone based on how they communicate or don't with an ex. Like, do they just bash all their exes? Well, that's not healthy. But with regards to Jason and Kaitlyn, it's like, look, they're dogs. I mean, could Jason give them to Kaitlyn full time? I mean, that would be a huge sacrifice. A huge sacrifice for the little unconditional love that dogs give you and ask for nothing in return.
Going to keep you guys intertwined and connected, or you got to go there and grab the dogs, and she's got a boyfriend or fiance or a husband one day, and it's like, it just, to me, it's like, well, I think it's almost like a healthier thing to go get yourself a dog or go.
I mean, look, it's not like they're turtles that live 100 years. The dogs you get 10 to 12, 14 good years. That's what you get. Sometimes less, sometimes more. So it's not like it's a situation that has to last too long.
Yeah, I think it adds a massive, massive layer of complexity, 100%. But I also think, as opposed to like planning for those situations, which I typically do, and then I overthink, I'm currently just living in my existing state this second. And what do I need to do for me? Like, if you look at like a restaurant, you got the appetizer, you got the desserts, the main course. Like right now, there's only one main course and it's focused on me and what I need, right? Because I just need to figure that out. For me, those dogs are my everything. Like I need them in my life. Like I need them in my life. And so how this works right now is I have an assistant, she has an assistant. They talk to each other. They do the scheduling. When we drop them off, we have yet to see each other up until this weekend. Maybe that'll change. And so what we're doing right now is we're splitting the month, where the first half she gets the month and the second half I get the dogs. So for now it works, but I would tell you this, that every single person in my inner circle, which I consider you in my inner circle, advises me to say, if you keep the dogs, you'll always be connected, and being connected could have challenges and could also create pain for you. Mm-hmm. That's the thing about Trading Secrets. We talk a lot about money and life, but also what I've learned through this podcast is that your personal life impacts your social life, impacts your financial life, impacts your professional life. So that's why I like talking about all those things. Mm-hmm. And I usually only have the chance to go there with very good friends, and you're a very good friend. So let's continue that discussion. Last time I had you on, I already referred.
So I don't know, it kind of feels like they just kind of trailed off and he took a hard left turn there. But either way, he says, look, I need them in my life. I can understand. Leave a comment. What do you guys think? Should Tyler Cameron, and feel free if anyone wants to call in with your thoughts, 401-213-9828. I'll play them on today's podcast, 401-213-9828. If you want, you can leave me your thoughts. And like I said, yeah, can you see that right up there? That's probably not a good quality. So let me try to get a better one here. But yeah, I'd love to know what you're thinking about this. It's kind of a complicated one because on one hand, Jason says, everyone tells me that I should, we should cut, total communication, but they do have a very interesting ability to share the dogs through their assistants, and they don't have to talk to each other. So could the time come where one of them moves away and sees the dogs less and someone gets sole custody? Maybe. But like, if these are their support animals, I'm okay with them wanting to sort of keep on having that support. I think the dogs are okay with it. Some people argue, oh, that's so traumatizing to them. I don't think so. I think that's ridiculous. They're dogs that live under a nice, comfortable roof with probably get fed very well. I think they're perfectly fine. But also, get yourself a Tyler Cameron who can share their thoughts with you respectfully like that, because you want good friends like that in your corner. And we'll be back with more content right after this.